part of a large company, there are some challenges with doing innovative things, and a lot of this is one of the reasons that you see more adoption of Facebook, for instance, or you see adoption of newer ideas in smaller companies. That's where most of those ideas come from. And then you see the larger companies get on the bandwagon much later in the cycle. You don't really see them innovating much in that way. When you bring in a crazy idea of putting product videos up on the product page, at one point in time, it was considered to be, frivolous, maybe, not, maybe product image is good enough. There is no need for a video, But nowadays, if you don't have a video, you sell less, and that's a fact, These are the kind of things that led me to, I wanted to do quite a lot of different innovative things. I mean, the industry that I chose is the vitamin industry, and that's primarily because I've had 10 plus years of vitamin experience, having helped two pretty top brand names in vitamins and grow their business tremendously. So when I was looking around and thinking about what I want to do, I wanted to do something innovative, given the industry experience with vitamins, which I could apply to other things too, but I chose vitamins as the first platform to get into and see what I can do with that. And then
specifically as an e-commerce company?
Initially, it's an e-commerce company, but ultimately, it's a social experience, is the platform that I'm trying to build right now. My competition, everybody else is concentrating on e-commerce, and it's add to cart, shopping cart, checkout, PayPal. Those are the things that they do. Or they do SEO, they do those kind of things. My goal is to create a social platform where my customers and visitors, site visitors, can communicate with each other. And the side effect of that is commerce. When you have people helping each other out, then they have a very comfortable environment where they can, talk about the things they want to talk about, and then find a mutual solution that works for both parties or a collective. And then the side effect is there's an add to cart there where they can check out. So the primary goal is to build a social platform using vitamins as a mechanism. And this could be applied to many different types of product lines.
What were some of the specific ideas that you had brought to the last company you worked at that kind of fell on deaf ears that made you want to jump ship and start your own thing?
It was not the previous company. The previous company was quite receptive because I was working directly with the chairman and the founder of the company directly. So that there was a lot of red tape there, but we cut through those red tape and we got a lot accomplished, it was a great company. The company that I can bring up as an example, I don't want to name them, but as an example is they brought me on as a consultant, and I helped them initially for the first 3-6 months, something like that, to get their e-commerce operations up. And then after that, they hired me on a full-time basis to actually become an employee of the company as a director. So I spent time there, and I started growing the business, and I grew it 5x. It was a multi-million-dollar company, and I grew it 5x. That's a lot of growth in 4.5 years, 4 years, 4.5 years. And at the conclusion of that 4 years, when we were working on budgets, I had many innovative ideas to now, just like I did 5x, now where I was at, I wanted to build it 10x, and much bigger with larger focus. The company was a multi-channel retailer, and back then, this was several years ago, so back then, e-commerce was competing head-on and against, that was the mentality, against the retail storefront, the brick and mortar. Not that this, all the waves pick up the tide, there's a saying like that, to me it was, if e-commerce did branding and sales, it also helped retail and other channels grow their business too. But primarily the executives above me their mentality was they came from a retail background. So to them, if the retail business wasn't doing well, it's because of e-commerce, that evil child, And that was the perspective. Unfortunately, that's how people looked at things. Now it has started to change. You see much more better integration. If you buy something from jcpenney.com or jcp.com, for instance, and you see the same sale available in the store. You can take the coupon from the site, spend it there on the website on jcp.com, or you can take the same coupon and take it to the store, or the same offer that they have, or the same sale, and you get this collective experience that you're getting a unified brand experience, not this, oh, I got to buy it from their website because that's a better deal, and if I buy it from the retail store, it's more expensive. The brands have come a long way in that thinking. So in that company, what happened was I put up this sort of a Jerry Maguire kind of a manifesto with a proposal with a budget to say, this is what I would like to do next year, because now we're beating the competition. I want to be way ahead of the competition and become the brand name, household name that everybody knows in that business. And the reception to that idea was, the budget was okay, but they didn't want the strategy to be so focused on e-commerce because the retail stores were suffering at that time. And they wanted to shift the budget towards saving the retail store rather than work on something collective or focus on where the humongous growth was there. So it was short-sightedness there a bit. I did do quite a lot of projects to actually integrate better with the store. And one of the things that I wanted to do is, for instance, nowadays you see on Walmart.com site to store. So you can buy it on the website and you could go to Walmart and pick it up. You don't have to pay for shipping, nothing like that. And you usually get your goods quicker that way. You don't have to wait for UPS, USPS, FedEx, all of those things. They handle that for you, right? So one of my next collective initiative for that company was to actually do site to store, which is a great feature. When a customer buys from you from the website, let's say $50 worth of goods or $100 worth of goods, right? They go to the store, they're bound to see things that they missed or they wanted to actually hold it in their hand, whether it's clothing, whether it's vitamins, it doesn't matter what the goods are, electronics. Maybe they want to hold it in their hand to look at it, to experience it before they buy. And once they're there to pick up their package from the site to store kind of a experience, they could pick up also. So that was, from a collective standpoint, I was a fan of collective because I knew that once the brand got built even more and they saw that this integrated experience, they would benefit from the website too and say, you know what, this is not just another .com. They have a branded store. If I have an issue with an order, I don't have to wait for UPS to pick up my return package. I can take it to the store. And that simple thing is great customer service for the consumer, because now they have an ease of mind that they could spend the money and not worry about shipping and handling, returning a product, getting in touch with customer service. All of those kind of issues rise. But if you handle it from the get-go, from the ground up, you build a framework that handles that, then you don't have those kind of worries. In fact, you're working on service and branding for the consumer, and they love you for that.